Today's episode is brought to you by Adult Swim's Rick and Morty Season 3 on Blu-ray and DVD. Treasure the Pickle Rick portrait encased in plastic while you enjoy 10 full Rick and Morty episodes and exclusive special features like animatics and behind-the-scenes look at Rick and Morty production, plus commentaries with the creators, cast, and special guests. Also, today's episode is brought to you by Blue Apron.
Delicious.
This is the time to jump on Blue Apron. Fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and step-by-step recipes right to your door that can be cooked in under 45 minutes. It's going to change your food game.
Dude, I got my Blue Apron. And you know what?
I know. I was out of town, so I gave it to my mom. And my parents... We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get there.
All right.
Hello, everybody. It's time for Ghost and Crendor.
Ghost and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. Before our recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up. It's up next Crendor in the morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Guys at Crendor in the morning.
Greetings.
Yeah, I was just wondering how you'd respond to that intro because I went off the rails and I'm not sure where I went to.
Swedish chef.
But the train went off the track into Sweden into a pot of meatballs, and I came out like murder.
Or you had a stroke. One or the other.
One of the two. It's happened.
Yeah.
It has and most likely will happen. Yeah.
You're back from your big Cox travels the world.
I am. I had a crazy time. Man, I got stories for days. I have so many stories. Many of them inappropriate, ones that I'll share in private, many that I won't share at all, and many that are hilarious and worth being on this podcast.
Hell yeah.
Where do I even start? I think last time we had an episode, I mentioned I was in a mine, and that was crazy.
Yeah, I remember you were in mine. You're in the Amsterdam. You didn't go to the prostitute house.
I missed the prostitutes completely.
Yeah.
I don't know how or why I spent a bunch of days in Amsterdam and never once. Maybe I did. Maybe I saw a prostitute on a break, but I never once saw an actual prostitute anywhere. But I did see a lot of families, so that was, my Amsterdam was family friendly. It was great. And so then I went to London, and that's where we filmed an episode. But while I was there, I went and traveled around the UK a little bit. Didn't go too crazy. Didn't go to like Ireland or Scotland like I wanted to. Yeah. But I went to smaller towns and like went and explored. Went to Bath, which is an ancient Roman like bath. I mean, basically, it was a city where they had those Bath? Like giant. Yeah, it's just called Bath, and then it's a city where they have those ancient like water-worky hot tub things. And
you
like,
go in it?
I guess it's a place where they would get clean. There is one that you can go in, but I just went and looked at the old ones because I was more fascinated with that. The hotel I stayed at, for the record, had the worst bed in the history of beds. It was, how do I even describe this? First off, the room. Oh my God. Let me tell you, I think the last time I stayed in some place actually outside of either London or Telford overnight was years ago. So maybe it was like this, or maybe I just forgotten and blocked it out. But the hotel room in Bath, the bed was like a plank of wood with with 4 poles supporting it, and that was it. There was a cloth that I guess was supposed to be a sheet on it, but it was hard. It was the most uncomfortable bed, and the pillow wasn't like, a normal pillow. The pillow was a square piece of fabric with like stuffing in it. But it was like I was camping, but in a building that smelled like someone washed their dog.
Oh, I would have left.
It was not okay. It was really bad. Good thing I didn't spend much time there, but at night it was also hot, so there was no air conditioning in this place. I felt so gross. It reminded me of when I went to Dodger's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
The place where she had the wedding, while the bed was awesome, the room had no air conditioning. It was in the middle of summer, and at night I just was so gross. I was like leaking everywhere. It was awful. And this was the same experience. This was rough.
That's like those people all over Europe where they don't got air conditioning because they're like, we don't need air conditioning over here. And it's like,
yeah,
you
do.
You do. You just don't because your buildings are really old and you just don't put it in shit. There's people in my chat saying that all the time. They're like, oh, I don't got air conditioning. You guys are babies over there. I'm like, no, we're in America. We have people living in deserts, literal deserts.
We're called the future. We're from the future, y'all.
Over here, we just, we're comfortable. We got more modern homes. I like it. All right. I like my central air. I like being able to be like, I want this temperature in the house. And you just do beep, beep, beep. And there you go. I like that.
It was a bit much. Thankfully, I was only there one day.
Yeah.
During the day, it was fine because there was like a nice breeze and I was walking around and like seeing things and going underground. It was fine. At night, when you're laying in bed, I had to kick every sheet off this wood plank and just lay there and I was so gross. I was so disgusting. I would not have wanted to been in or around me. Not in me. That sounds weird. I wouldn't have been anywhere near me. I was disgusting. Let's see what else happened. I had a like really awesome fan meetup. That was really cool. That was fun. Every time I'm there, we do it at the loading bar. Very clever name.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really cool night. I went and spent a lot of time walking around trying to find places, like really crazy places, because everyone was like, go here, do this, check this place out. So, hold on, where's my phone? I swear to God, over the course of this entire trip, I'm going to try and count this out for you because it is ludicrous. And I don't think, if I lived in the UK, I think I'd be super fit. I'd be like a sexy fit dude. Because let me tell you right now, when's the last episode we did? Like the 7th, right? Something like that?
Yeah. I think it was when I first, like 2 weeks ago.
When I first got to, yeah. So on the 7th, I walked 5 miles. On the 8th, I walked 4 miles. On the 9th, I walked 4.1 miles. On the 10th, I walked 6 miles. On the 11th, 3.6 miles. On the 12th, 2 miles. On the 13th, 7 miles. On the 14th, 3 miles. On the 15th, 4 miles. On the 16th, 3 miles. On the 17th, 10 miles. On the 18th, 8 miles. On the 19th, 6 miles. On the 20th, 7 miles. On the 21st, 3 miles. I think that was my break day. On the 22nd, which is today, just to point this out, which is today, 0.32 miles.
Welcome back.
Yep, back home. Made it back. Haven't left my office or the computer once today. 3.32 miles. Literally, I walked hundreds of miles over this course. I think it chalked out to like 201 miles over the course of like the entire trip I was on. Like when I was in Poland, I walked a lot more too, and Amsterdam. Amsterdam, I think I had one day that was like 22 miles or something crazy like that. It was nuts.
Wow.
Like, I walked I would be a legit thin person. I would be like a stud if I lived over. Not that I'm not a stud now. But like, I'm telling you, everywhere I walked, I wouldn't need a car because everything was nearby. Yeah. I would just have to live in a major city and pay $1 bajillion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing. You just got to be rich.
Yeah.
Live in the big city.
Yeah, if anyone out there, rich Saudi prince, wants to just give me every rich Saudi prince has a place in London. Just give it to me. I'll move there and live there. I'll take care of it for you. I'll be the guy who takes care of it. And then when you come out there, I'll like be your servant. Like, welcome. And I'll take care of you and like drive you around and stuff. But the rest of the year, I get to run a YouTube channel out of there. I'd do it. Yeah, it was crazy. I walked so effing much. But God, what? I'm trying to think of all the things I saw and did. I'm also trying to think of what I can say and what I can't because some of it is highly inappropriate. I had a very debauched vacation.
Right.
Things happen that are not for normal ears. But I did go at one point to a place called Cyberdog.
Cyberdog.
I figured you would enjoy. Cyberdog is essentially a rave fetish store, ? I'm not sure how you would describe it. Basically, if you go to Camden, which is a place that I was told by certain people in the past, don't go there. It's that's what I was like, hold on. Like I was told by certain individuals in the past, don't go there. It's boring. Those people are idiots.
They got a thing right outside Cyberdog called Milkshake Fried Oreo Donuts.
Yes, I posted a photo of it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I freaking loved it. So the Cyberdog itself is in Camden, and Camden is the most touristy, nonsensical place in the world, but it's super interesting because everything there has, imagine you went to a carnival, but the carnival is like 20 years old and no one's updated anything.
Yeah.
All the buildings outside had like one building was a Chinese place that had a giant dragon outside, but the dragon was like falling apart. And one thing was this like goth store, had like a sexy goth girl out front, but like she was falling apart. Everything was just sort of old looking, but trying to be hip and cool, and I loved it. So you eventually get into the docks or locks or whatever the hell it is around Camden, where it's a bunch of watery shit.
Right.
I don't know. But you turn a corner, and there you see before you Cyberdog. Cyberdog is blasting techno music, and out front is a female and male robot, these giant sentinels standing in front of the entrance. And then I had no idea what to expect going in here. Everyone was like, go in with an open mind. And I was like, all right. So the minute I walked in, first off, I saw in front of me families going in. So just set up in advance. I'm in here with families now.
Right.
Like people with strollers, little kids. Tourists taking photos of this top floor, even though there are photos everywhere, things everywhere that say "do not take photos."
Right.
So when you walk in, immediately on your left are about 20. They're clearly fake, but designed to look real, like sex robots.
What?
Like robots that look like 70s silver robots, but they are in packaging designed to be sold as sex bots.
Okay.
And then straight ahead, and there's a bunch of like trinkets and weird things that you can buy. It's right near a cash register. The cash register's on your right. And then directly in front of you is a bunch of what I imagine people in the 80s thought was like sci-fi cool stuff, like computer monitors and weird shit. And then above them were two go-go girls dancing. And they're dancing like this music and like shaking their butts and stuff. And imagine I'm in this room and there's just kids with me and weird, creepy guys taking photos. And it was bizarre.
I'm on their website, and they have like a kids like section. Like I don't get, and it's just a bunch of rave stuff. Like I don't want my kid wearing rave shit.
When you go down the escalator, you now are in this huge underground area that has a DJ with, like the bumping sound wave things that you like I don't know what that shit's called, but in the background every beat is like bumping up and down.
Yeah.
And there's a giant statue of two robots, I assume banging. Not sure exactly what was going on, but it's them and they're like orgasming as their lower parts are intertwining. Robot sex.
Yeah, robots.
And then everything else there is rave stuff. Like rave backpacks and rave shirts and rave glitterware, whatever the hell.
A lot of raves.
And it's all like blacklit and neon, and it's just loud and crazy, and they're just tourists taking photos, even though, again, it says don't take photos. So at that point, I was like, screw it, I'm going to start taking photos too. So I started taking photos of everything. And eventually you get to a point where you turn a corner, and there's a security guard, an actual real person standing there watching you. And that's when I realized there was a basement. When you go in the basement, it's all sex toys.
Oh my God.
Hundreds and hundreds of sex toys. And all the art on the wall is of robots having sex. And then, as I went down the stairs to see what was in there, I noticed that's when there's a bunch of women in lingerie dancing. But they're not dancing to the techno that's above. Now they're dancing to, like, hard metal. Just, like, crazy death metal. And again, weird seeing a woman try to, like, sexy dance to a guy who's like... It was weird. But at that point, I was like, all right, I'm not going to take pictures of this because that's messed up. And so I looked around there and was like, well, this was interesting. And then I left after. I was like, well, seen everything I need to see, went outside, and that's when I realized directly across the street from this place, besides the Oreo milkshake thing And all these other little shops. Directly across the way is like an old-timey tea cafe. And there were a bunch of old ladies just sitting out there sipping tea, watching people go in and out of this building. And I wonder if they are like me and they just want to watch people. Because I would have sat there all day if I wasn't like on the move. It was an event.
Well,
it was crazy.
It's definitely a place I would like to watch all the like crazy people or just people see the crazy people.
I think you would have loved it. I think this is one of the few things that you, I feel like, should have seen when you were in England.
Yeah.
It's disappointing to me that we were told that Camden sucked because Camden does not suck. It's pretty cool.
And I think most people probably just that say it sucks see it. It's like a touristy thing. So like, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But they don't understand.
But like, they don't get it. That's where the crazy shit goes down. They don't understand. People don't get it. That was nuts. But I'm trying to think of what. Oh my God. All right. So here's another story. This is in Poland. I went to this convention. The convention was fine, but afterwards, every night we went to this place that was sort of like an open food court / bar. So there's a big bar in the middle, and then around the bar were all these different food options you could go to. So it was like you were in a mall, but not. And the middle area was this bar that served all sorts of drinks, and then around it were all these different food stalls. And I thought that was pretty cool. And so I went and I had like a birthday party there, and a bunch of people came. It was crazy. But the second night that we went there, I was trying to teach all the people who went with me because they were like, how do you in Crendor see crazy stuff? And I was like, you got to keep your eyes open. Like, you can't just enjoy. You have to enjoy others as well.
That's the thing. I mentioned this to like when Dan was visiting, our animator Dan. We like went to the mall, we're walking around, and I was like, oh my God, you see that person? He was just like, what? And I was like, Dan, you're not looking. You're not
you have to open
watching.
your eyes and see the world around you. You can't just be focused on yourself and your own little goofy tendencies. You got to look out for everyone else. And this is when
I'm constantly in observation mode.
This is when we saw two things that proved to everyone who was with me exactly what we were up to. They had a dance. First off, dear Poland, you have some of the craziest dancers I've ever seen in my life. Just like, you know all those jokes that comedians do about like, this is how white people dance. Boop, ba, doop, ba, doop.
Yeah.
It's pretty much that.
Oh my God.
It was incredible.
I got something to ask you. All right. Polish people. All right. I didn't say this. I'm like part Polish. Why do so many Polish people love cars? I swear to God, every Polish person.
I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that.
Well, Chicago has a lot of Polish people, and I
feel
swear
like
to God,
Chicago Polish people are different than Polish people.
Well, like I'll look at Snapchat even and see these stories. It's like he's got his car, and it's like National Poland Day they had, and he's just like, he's like revving the cars, and a bunch of them were like standing around like, woo, and then like I don't know what it is, but like the vast majority of people that love cars here are Polish people. Is that like just a thing? Like, I'm Polish.
Open question.
Part Polish.
Open
Maybe
question.
I'm not like 100%. Maybe that's why I don't like cars.
I mean, that's it. I will say all the food I ate was awesome. So Poland's killing it on the food front. They have a soup, and I keep forgetting the name of it, but it is like sour
soup.
Yeah, but it has some sort of bacon and or ham and like that you put an egg in it. It sounds bizarre, but it's so good.
It's like
I don't remember what it's called.
Is it like an egg drop soup, like their version of the Asian one?
No, it literally is half an egg.
Oh.
And it's a boiled egg and you drop it in. And then the egg, like the egg yolk sort of like mixes with the hot broth and it becomes not as sour and kind of creamy looking. It's delicious. I don't know what the deal is, but it's so good.
I like beet soup.
I mean, it's not that, but one night we went out to dinner. Oh my God. Before we get to the crazy dance party, one night we went out to dinner and the people, we went to this restaurant where it was like themed around Poland, except it was more Witcher themed, right? Like it was very nice. But they kept playing like Witcher music, and I was like, whatever, I can live in The Witcher. And all the food was really, really good. But there was one area. Also, shout out to the two hosts. There were two people there servicing us. The old lady who was sort of behind the bar and in the kitchen, and then the woman who came around, like, collecting all the plates and whatever,
right.
Who I will say might have been one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. She was flawless. And I was like, how can I convince her to run away with me? Like, look, you're beautiful. You shouldn't be serving. It was whatever. It doesn't matter. The old lady is the best part of this story because she was near this tray of meats and cheeses. And so at the beginning, I got the soup, and then I went around and had some, like, people told me to eat this bread, and it was like a homemade bread, but it had with it not butter, but straight up just lard, but lard mixed with stuff. And it tastes so good. And I don't know how to define how good it was, but it was the best, like one of the best bread butter situations I've ever had in my life. Anyway, I went over because I just wanted to see what cheeses they had, and I wasn't even going to get any. This old lady comes over and she's like, "You want the cheese?" I was like, what kind of cheese do you have? And she takes a plate, cuts one slice, puts it on the plate. Another slice, puts it on the plate. Gives me all 6 different types of cheeses. And then slices of meat. And I'm like, no, I'm good. She's like, you eat.
You are skinny boy.
She's like, you eat. And she kept giving me stuff. And then she was like, now you drink. And she gave me what I guess is honey beer, ?
Oh, wow.
And then she kept giving it to me. And I was just like, I'm so full. She's like, you eat. And so because she was standing across from me where I was sitting down, I felt so obligated to eat everything off the plate that even full, I was like, it's so good. I was getting so sick, and I was like, it's delicious. She's like, you like? I'm like, yeah, it's really good.
See, the difference is I would have hit the point where I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, lady, I'm not eating anymore, all right? But, I'm also not a fun person.
As I've discovered from my personality test that we'll talk about later, I have issues with pleasing other people.
Right.
So yeah, I was like, okay. But yeah, I went to this going forward a few days. I was at this bar / food court, and I saw the biggest. I don't want to call him dumb, but I'm going to assume it was a giant meathead.
Right.
But he was like a Polish meathead.
A Polish meathead.
Imagine. I mean, he could have been like, I want to call him like a Polish sausage.
Right.
He was just big, and he had this sort of like almost shaved head, and he had this look on his face that just, he was kind of red in the face all the time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. And the girl he was dancing with looked like, I don't know how to describe her, like Demi Moore, but old Demi Moore, right?
Right. I know what you mean.
She was dancing, but in the area around the DJ area, they had lawn chairs. So he's sitting in a lawn chair, and she starts dancing, but not just dancing, but like strip club dancing.
Oh.
Where she's like rubbing herself in front of him, like shaking her ass, and the guy literally has a camera and is filming her.
What?
I know. And so I told everyone, I was like, watch this. This is going to be the best show in the house. And so he's filming her, and she's like sexy dancing. Meanwhile, in the background, there are other couples like dancing to the song. The song is not a sexy dancing song. It is like, I think it was like it might have been Kendrick Lamar, but it like wasn't a song where she's like slow, sexy dancing. It was awful. It was so funny to watch. And then at one point she pulls him and it's like, come up here. He like grabs her butt, and then he starts dancing with her. But the dance he does, she's doing this like sexy touching herself dancing. His dancing is, imagine if you will, everyone at home do this.
All
Start pumping your right hand up in the air.
Right.
Start pumping your left hand up in the air.
Right.
And then that's it.
All right. I can do that.
He just was pumping it looked like he was lifting invisible weights over his head while she is sitting there just like rubbing her ass against him, and he's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know how, it's just something about this guy made him so funny. And I don't know what it was exactly, but he was just like it was just like a meathead, but like in Poland, and it was incredible. Yeah. So that's pretty much what some fun stuff happened to me without taking up the entire. Oh shit! The most important thing happened. I watched Death Cure.
Wait. Oh my God! You watched it.
I know.
Oh my God. Well,
I watched it on the plane ride back. We need to talk about that at some point. I don't know if it's this episode, but oh my God. I watched it and I have so many thoughts because what the shit?
Should we do that now? Should we save that for a separate episode? Like, How many?
I mean, do you remember anything? I don't know. Do you remember the movie?
I remember the movie. Yes.
Okay. All right. Then we should talk about it.
All right. Let's talk about it then.
Holy shit. The beginning, they throw you into it.
Yeah, they
it's
throw
like,
you
do you
into
remember what happened? No, it doesn't matter. You're in now.
I still had that kind of paradox where I still didn't know what movie I was in from all the different movies. I was like, is this
right.
one with the no, that's Divergent. But then there's this okay, and then I settled in.
Yeah, the movie literally starts you out with, for the first 5 or 10 minutes, I totally forgot that the guy from Breaking Bad was a character in this movie. I also forgot which lead female character was which. So when the movie started out, I was like, wait, didn't she betray them last time? Why is she in the car? Like, I had no clue what was going on. And then finally it all started to click. I was like, oh yeah, the one who betrayed them all is the one from the new Pirates movie. It all started to click together. And then it became crazy. It became a crazy movie where, let's see, what the shit happens in this movie? First off, besides the fact that the premise is that the main character is the chosen one because he's the only one who can save everyone with his blood.
Yeah.
Is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also the fact that no one seems to care. They're like, he can save us all.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no, why would we do that? And that's the premise of this movie. The hero can save everyone, but won't do it.
Yeah. Well, what I remember most about this movie is that it went from this path, like it's followed this path from like a mysterious maze type of movie, right? Where you're like, why are they in this maze? What's going on? This maze is crazy. What the shit's going on? Then it goes to like zombie survival. And then
it's people versus people, basically.
Yeah, it felt like it just became an action movie.
That's what it, yeah, it became. The basic premise is Mino, or whatever his name is. I always thought it was Miho, but they kept calling him Mino, and I was like, is his name Minnow? I have no idea what this character's name is. But he is captured at the end of the second movie, and so the vast majority of this movie, the vast majority of this movie is saving this guy. And he's being tortured because they discover that this virus that's turning everyone to crazy zombie killers, if you give the blood of people that were in the maze, then it can hold off the effects of this. The problem is that it doesn't work very well, and eventually, no matter what, they like become corrupted.
Yeah.
And except for the fact the main character, Thomas, he has super blood, I guess, is the point.
Yeah. Which it's one of those like he's the one, but in a weird way.
Yeah, he's the one who doesn't give a shit about being the one. He does not want to help anyone.
Yeah.
They're like, we need your blood. And he's like, F off. It's crazy. So what happens is he ends up going with his like cool crew. Because I guess a character who I forgot, old white bearded guy who is in charge of all of the survivors, ? They want to go to an island and he has a boat. And he's like, we're going to get out of here and they'll never find us and we'll live free. And so at the beginning, they save a bunch of the test subject kids, and they're like, we have to leave Mino behind, or whatever his name is.
Right.
And he's like, no, I'll never do it. So they go on a cool raid mission to go to the last city on Earth, ? Maybe? And they try to infiltrate the city, but there's a giant wall around it. So they end up getting captured by the guy from The Shield, except half his face is zombie. For some reason, they do not explain, like he's half zombie, but they never explain how he's able to live that way.
Yeah.
And then, for some reason, the dude from the first movie who died at the end, the guy who killed the little fat kid at the end of the first movie, he's back, and they're like, wait, didn't we impale you with literally a spear? But he's fine.
He's like, nah,
he's back.
I got out of that.
Yeah, he's like, I managed to get out of there. People saved me. And now he works with this resistance group that's trying to get inside the city.
Yeah.
And from that point on, the rest of the movie is about them trying to take down Wicked, this evil corporation that runs the last city, while defeating the guy from Littlefinger. They're basically trying to defeat Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. And
becomes Mission Impossible.
Meanwhile, Thomas is still obsessed with the girl who broke his heart / betrayed him.
She works at Wicked
and
now.
Yeah, she works there because she's a scientist who has clearly discovered the best way to synthesize their blood. And then there's like her boss, who is like a scientist as well, but she seems like the good guy version of Littlefinger, but they both work together.
Yeah.
And from that point on, it literally becomes them fighting in this city, and they have to infiltrate this base, and it seemed very, very short because not much actually happened, but there was a lot of action scenes. And then at one point, at the very, very end, all hell breaks loose, and the option is given, like, either you come and save everyone or we all die, like that kind of thing. And he does it for Teresa, who's the girl, and Thomas goes, I think that's her name, I hope that's her name.
Yeah.
And he goes there to help her, and of course Littlefinger's like, I'm the bad guy, so I'm going to try and kill everyone. And then that shit happens, and then at the end, almost everybody dies.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, almost everyone dies at the end. The little squirrely guy, the little thin dude, he is bit at the end of the last movie, I suppose. And so he is slowly being corrupted over the course of this one. There's a lot of...
Teresa, like, died for no reason.
She could have... Yeah, at the end of the movie, Teresa...
made that jump so easily.
I want to point out for the record, Thomas gets shot. He is literally dying. Teresa throws him to a helicopter. If you have this physical strength to throw a guy to a helicopter, you have the physical strength to jump to a helicopter. Yeah. She just sits there and is like, no, I ain't gonna do it. It's like, what? You're the only scientist who knows how to synthesize this stuff to save everyone. Yeah. She's like, I ain't gonna do it. So, needless to say, in the end, I'm pretty sure the world just dies, but all the kids live?
Yeah, so they like form their own civilization, essentially. They're just having a beach party or some shit.
Yeah, and then they put all the names of everyone who died over the course of these 3 movies on a monument. And then the very, very end, Thomas, who has the last vial of this stuff that can cure people, stares out this boat on the ocean. I think the message is supposed to be that he's going to go out and save people, but literally it doesn't happen. The world is dead, as far as I know, and they're all in Hawaii? I don't know where they are.
I don't know where they are.
It's nonsense.
They're just having a beach party.
Crazy.
It doesn't make any sense.
This movie is crazy. all the good characters have died. All the assholes managed to live. Yeah. That's literally what happened.
Yeah.
It's literally what happens. It's crazy.
It's an actual insane ending. And then even the last like segment where like Littlefinger's just trying to kill everybody, and he's like, Where are you, Thomas? And he's like going around like, whoa. And then the lady like dies because he shoots her, and he's just like, he goes insane.
Keep in mind, the whole premise of the Resistance is that they're like, we're going to retake the city, the last city. Yeah. The first thing they do, the leader of their Resistance drives a car bomb into a wall and explodes himself. Yeah. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. I was like...
And then from that point on, literal hell breaks loose and everyone dies. So you're like, wait, this was their plan? Their plan was to unleash pure chaos?
Like, sir, what if you just... sent the car bomb in without you on it. Like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that part.
He's half zombie. He's an idiot. He doesn't know any better. What a nonsensical movie. Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was like, this is so dumb. I love it.
Here's the thing.
But
I enjoyed it too.
Insane.
But I was like, I felt like it was just an action movie. But I mean, I'll take an action movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was waiting, instead of that twist at the end where he looked at the vial and he looked at the ocean, he was like, I'm going to go back out there. I was expecting them to get on this island and then the camera to pan out and to have it be another simulation. And the last city was part of it and the whole thing was fake. I was ready for that moment because that's what the last 2 fucking things have been. Every time they get to the ending, it's like, but there's more. And you're like, whoa? I literally figured that was the case. Not at all.
There's too many things that don't have that kind of weird twisty ending. I love those types of endings.
That's why that's why we loved the first movie so much, because it literally was they're trapped in a maze, and then when they get out, there's like scientists and shit. And you're like, wait, what?
The same thing happened to off topic, but like video games. You played what's that one with the 2 guys? Not Last of Us. One Way Out. It's where
A Way Out.
We beat that game. All right, and then we had our own like meme ending, me and my friend that played it, and then our chat was like, you gotta see the real endings, and I watched the real endings, and I was like, why'd you tell me this? I hate the real endings. I think they're boring. They're like, they're crazy.
The real endings are, I do not like them. More importantly, some of the aspects don't make any sense.
And I was like,
I
this would
felt
have been
bad
a
because I was
perfect
going
game
nuts.
to like put one
Yeah.
of those weird twisty endings into it. To like twist the twist. Yeah.
I was complaining about the endings, and then that's when I realized a dev from the game was in chat. I was like, let me tell you about your endings. I didn't even care. I was like, this one doesn't make any sense, and this one, while clearly the best one, is the worst ending because it's the saddest and meanest.
Yeah.
And he was like, we figured. I was like, it doesn't matter what you thought. I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was so mad at the endings of those
So
games.
that's I think it's on the same level of that where like I feel like they could have just they could have really capped it off and instead it was just like
I would have loved it if the third movie ended with them making it to freedom, but in reality, they were in a bigger version of the maze.
yeah. That'd been great.
That would have been the coolest ending to anything where it was like, we did it. And then Thomas having that, like, maybe there's something still out there. That would have been important because maybe he could have found out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was dumb. Now it was like, I did it. I saved the world. But maybe there's something still out there. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You all made it to Hawaii. You're fine. No one gives a shit.
And that's what we waited 2 years for.
Yep. That's what we waited 2 years for. Yeah, so I figured we should talk about that because I saw that movie and was losing my mind. I was on the plane like, are you kidding me? Is this happening right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot I even watched it. That was like back in January, February.
Yeah, whenever it came out earlier this year, yeah.
Yeah. But
So that was an event
at least you
that
finally
I
watched.
experienced.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you saw the royal wedding.
I did not, but what I did see was a ton of merchandise and like BS around London when I was there. Everything was royal wedding. I remember I walked past this one building called Smeg, which I think is an appliance store but has the worst name imaginable.
Right.
And it had 2 refrigerators in the window, one in a white gown and one in a black tuxedo. And it said #royal wedding. And I was like, get out of town. They put a fridge and tuxedo and wedding gown. It was the worst. UK, you got problems. I'm just saying. No, did you watch the actual wedding? What was that like?
I watched the actual wedding, and it was like a typical wedding. I was like looking at Twitter.
Did you see all the lords and ladies like Lord
Yeah.
Kensington
They're
the
like,
Third?
and now arriving is John Henry V. And he's like, dun, 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 dun. And they had like all the people waiting outside, and then they're like rushing her there in the car, and they're like, gotta get it on before noon. And so then they had like the crazy stuff with like all the royal.
Did you see?
What?
Did you see the clip of the pastor giving like and Jesus was talking about love, and then it cuts to the royal family and they're all just like oof.
Oh yeah, that guy. He's like,
It's
fire.
so funny.
Fire.
He's like, let me tell y'all in the Bible, and then it cuts to, like the queen and she's just like oof.
Yeah.
It's find that clip if you're listening to this. It's so funny. They like don't give a shit. They're all. Even his brother is just like, this guy, what a weirdo. It cracks me up.
It was my favorite part about the whole thing was I was watching the CBS broadcast of it, and with CBS, I loved how much they made it like a sporting event. They were like, we're gonna be analyzing right down here what this wedding cake is made of. It's got 50 pounds of butter, 200 pounds of elderflowers. And when you break it down, you just see, what's this cake going to taste like? We're going to kick it over to our head chef, Jonathan. He's going to tell us. He's like, well, you don't get many elderflowers out here, I'll tell you that much. This is a royal herb. If you're, I was like, oh, my God, this is just a sports cast. But on a wedding. And that's what I love the most about it. And they're, like, bringing people
This is
in.
a royal herb.
There are these 2 people from, like, Los Angeles. And they're like, we know Prince Charles. And we got invited out here. They're like, how'd you get invited? And they're just like, we loved it. And I'm like, but how'd you get invited? And they never said. I was like disappointed because I wanted to know how these random ass people got invited from LA.
But you'll notice the place they got married is the place you and I went to where you fell in love with that old-timey door.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Mamma mia.
That's the place where they got married. It's where the old-timey door, the oldest door in England that you found,
Dang.
that's where it's at.
I knew something
I
cool
know.
would happen there one day.
Right? It's just a matter of time before something cool happened there besides the oldest door. Yep.
Well, the oldest door is pretty cool. Let's not like downplay that.
I'm not. I'm definitely saying it's the coolest.
Oh, the one thing I was realizing was I was like, wow. And then after I was thinking, when would they get to be king? So I'm like, all right, there's the prince and princess now. And everyone's like, oh, you wouldn't get to be king. There's Charles. then there's William, then there's William's kids, then there's
he's
and I was like,
he is really far in
what
line.
a dumb system.
Yeah, basically he has no chance of being king unless 6 other people in front of him die.
I love that. It's like you got the one dude. It's like, all right, I can see him being king. He kind of looks like Tywin Lannister. Then you got the William. It's like, all right, I can see him being king. He's like the oldest. But then his kids get to be like kings before he does.
Yeah, well, that's why back in the old days they would kill the entire family.
That's what I was saying. I was like, no wonder people got assassinated back then.
It wasn't just you didn't kill your brother, you killed your brother's family, because if you killed your brother, then like his kid would take over.
Yeah. That shit was
that's
crazy.
Why people were ruthless as shit, yeah. So now you know.
Now I know. Now it's my royal wedding experience.
All right, well, you know what? I think we should talk about Adult Swim and Rick and Morty Season 3 on Blu-ray. Y'all, it's out. Just like the season, you waited forever, and it's finally here.
It's finally here.
Yeah. You and your family can now relive all the memes that existed that killed the internet. From Pickle Rick to Szechuan sauce, all of it. You can now enjoy it. Treasure the Pickle Rick portrait encased in plastic while you enjoy 10 full Rick and Morty episodes. Exclusive special features like animatics, behind-the-scenes Rick and Morty productions, commentaries with the creators, cast, special guests, all in an effort to exploit the greatness that is this American classic. You could win, if you're lucky enough, a handmade limited edition Pickle Rick figure.
Oh my God!
I don't know who made it. I don't know whose hands have made this.
Unbelievable. I never thought I'd see one of them casted into an actual figurine in my lifetime.
Now you no longer have to dress like Pickle Rick when you go to conventions.
Thank God.
You can just have that at home.
I never thought the day would come. I thought I'd always have to dress up.
Yep.
All you gotta do is you gotta go to getpicklerick.com/CNC for Cox and Crendor, but that's 3 letters CNC. Getpicklerick.com/CNC. That's right. You can get your Pickle Rick on at getpicklerick.com and truly embrace the powers of getpicklerick.com/CNC.
Don't miss out. Season 3 of Rick and Morty is here, Blu-ray and DVD.
Yeah. And I think we can all recall exactly where we were when we heard, "I'm Pickle Rick." Because I know I can.
I can. That's the day I realized we were all screwed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember. And from that point on, it was like, it's going to be Rick and Morty nonstop for the next 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
The memes had taken over the internet, and I knew right then. I was like, that's it. Hot Topics only going to have Rick and Morty stuff from now on. Also, this week is brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron is offering our listeners their first 3 meals free.
Free.
When it comes to dinner, let Blue Apron take care of your butt. It's got the planning. It's got the shopping. It's all handled through them. And then you can have awesome meals like popcorn chicken with sweet chili cabbage slaw and cumin spiced wonton noodles with vegetables and peanuts on the table in 30 minutes or less. With incredible ingredients and chef-designed recipes, Blue Apron lets you see what the power of food can do. Let me tell you, we got some Blue Apron sent to us.
Yes, I did mainly.
I mean, yeah, mainly you, but my parents did. And I want to let you know, while I was out of the country, my parents sent me photos of every time they made something. They loved it. They were so happy. I think they just straight up bought a subscription.
Mama
because I think they now cook 3 meals a week with Blue Apron.
Do you remember some of the ones they made?
I remember one of them because it was specifically the buffalo pops or whatever it was.
Buffalo pops? I made buffalo chicken meatballs.
Maybe that's what it was. I'm literally going back through the text messages my mom sent me because she sent me photos of everything. It was like, look what we got. And she loved it.
I loved it too. We got a chicken katsu thing, made buffalo chicken meatballs. There's like these.
I think they got almost the exact same thing you got because they got the chicken katsu. They got a stir fry meal, I believe.
Yeah, got stir fry. Oh my God. There's like these one. It was like radish, sweet, spicy radish tacos or something. Oh my God. That was one of those things where I was like, this might be all right.
Really good?
It was one of the greatest things I think I've ever eaten. it like hit all the flavor palettes. It was so good to the point where I was like, we just make this anytime. Let's keep the recipe thing. I can make this whenever I want. Like, you get a free recipe out of doing this too, and you can just go do that.
Yeah. And it tells you like pairings, like wine pairings and stuff. They give you all the information you need to make like a really good night out and impress someone.
Yeah.
It is convenient. It offers variety. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but when you order through their website, you choose from many different recipes. And then you can set sort of limits for yourself. So if you say, like, I want to have a diet where I'm like trying to lose some weight, they'll limit what you can eat. So if you say, well, I want this hamburger, they'll be like, all right, well, you can't have the noodles then because you're having too many carbs, dummy. And so they'll really help you if you want to do it that way. And you can pick between 2, 3, and 4 recipes based on your schedule. It's super high quality, non-GMO stuff. And one of the great things is right now, some of the recipes they have, besides looking delicious and being amazing, are pork chorizo tacos with radishes, roasted potatoes, and cotija cheese, salmon and spicy orange salsa with quinoa and carrot salad. They have a white cheddar cheeseburger with balsamic glazed onions and roasted potatoes, and a creamy pesto cavatelli with mushrooms and spicy breadcrumbs.
Mamma mia.
That's just 4 of the many things you can pick from going on right now for this month. It's organic, farm to table. So what you need to do right now is head over to blueapron.com/Cox.
Cox.
Get your first 3 meals free. I'm telling you, if this is something you have always wanted to do, is like learn to cook, this is the simplest, easiest way to start. It straight up is the best thing you could do, because a lot of times you go to the grocery store and you're like, I don't know where to begin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have a recipe and that's sort of where you start, but then you're like, okay, well, now I have 8 boxes of noodles and I have no idea what to do with these everything's portioned. Everything is ready for you. All you got to do is just follow the instructions, and there's nothing left over because you're just doing what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
It's great.
All you do, you get the card, they send you the things, you refrigerate them, and you pull it out when you want it, and you're like, hey, I'm going to make this, and then it's like, do this, do this, do this. And by the time it's over, you get like 20, 30 minutes. It tells you usually how long it takes on the card, and then bam, you got food. You didn't have to go out and get it, and it's like a mamma mia. You accomplished cooking when you never thought you could cook in your life.
And that point, then you know exactly what you need, and then you can take that recipe and go do it yourself.
Exactly. And there you go. You got healthy meals.
BlueApron.com/Cox. Go there. Blue Apron. It's a better way to cook.
Do it.
All right. Let's do this thing and head to Chop Top 7 with Crendor. Crendor, how's that traffic out there?
Oh, wow. I forgot we even had these segments. Hey, I'm up here in the sky, and I'm flying around, and today I'm just taking it easy. I don't even want to look at the traffic. I see the clouds, see a couple birds up here, a plane. Man, when you don't have to do work, it's great. So I'm going to kick it back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Crendor. Now let's head over to the weather desk. Crendor, how's that weather?
Weather desk.
Arr,
we got the
it's weather.
today.
Hey.
Arr, we got there. I don't know what the weather is. Whoppy, what's the weather? Whoppy activated. I-A-O. Dark Io. Kontum, Vietnam.
Damn.
80.
Wait, what? I thought you were going to Iowa at first, then you went to Vietnam.
Dark Iowa, Vietnam. 87
what?
degrees.
Wait, oh, time out. Dark Iowa?
Dark Io. Dark
Io?
Dak Io.
I feel like you don't know what you're saying, Whoppy.
Dak Io, Vietnam.
Yeah.
87 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 92 Fahrenheit. Today, thunderstorms, high 89 Fahrenheit. 90% chance. Tonight, thunderstorms, 30% chance, 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Thursday, thunderstorms, 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 80% chance. Rain. Thursday, thunderstorms, 80 degrees. Thanks, Whoppy.
Sounded like a lyrics to an Imagine Dragons song.
89 degrees
Thunderstorms.
Fahrenheit. Thunderstorms all night.
Yep, perfect. All right, and let's have to sports.
Hey,
Crendor, what's going on in sports?
we got sports news going on. Hey, sports. People are tearing their ACLs in football already. Basketball's playing out. It's either going to be LeBron versus the Cavaliers. Well, it is LeBron versus the Cavaliers. or not the Cavaliers, the Celtics. I mixed them up. LeBron versus the Celtics, and then Golden State versus Houston.
LeBron versus the Cavaliers would be an amazing game. It's just
It
him
would.
versus his entire team. I'd watch that. I'd watch that
LeBron
game.
takes on his own team.
That'd be the first pro basketball game I watched in 20 years.
Yeah. Hockey, the Vegas Knights have made the Stanley Cup playoffs.
How is this? It is their first season.
Yep.
How is this possible?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
And in Vegas, first season of a Vegas team. It goes against all logic. It's crazy that that's happening.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah. And then, let's see, we got the Capitals and the Lightning in Game 7. So we're going to play the Capitals or the Lightning. And,
I literally can't wait to see what happens.
yeah, I hope it's the Capitals, because that means if the Capitals win, then they finally win a Stanley Cup after being in contention for one for like 12 years and always losing the playoffs. Or they'll lose to the first-year Vegas Knights and feel even worse. So that's what I'm hoping.
This will be incredible. Whatever happens, this is like Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
Whatever happens is bad for everyone.
And then, what else is there? Baseball still going. NBA lottery. Bulls drop from like 6th to 7th, so that kind of sucked. Phoenix Suns get the number 1 pick, so they might be able to get good again. And
they won't.
They won't. And that's sports.
All right. Well, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Naked Gulf Breeze man tasered after walking through neighborhood carrying cooking oil.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
A Gulf Breeze man was arrested for allegedly walking completely naked through a Woodlawn Way neighborhood Thursday evening. Joseph John Musso, 63, faces several charges in connection to the incident, including loitering and prowling.
You know you're in trouble when they use your first, middle, and last name.
Yeah. It's like his mom's writing the article.
Joseph John?
He faces several charges in connection to the incident, including loitering and prowling, lewd and lascivious behavior, resisting an officer without violence, and exposure of sexual organs. A Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office deputy was dispatched to the area at about 8:30 p.m. after a homeowner reported that while he was in Pensacola, his security camera provided an alert to his cell phone that someone was near his front door. Captured footage of a naked man walking past the home near the front door, the homeowner told authorities. At the time, 2 children and a babysitter were inside, but the report notes the 3 did not see the naked man.
Okay.
While a deputy was at home getting information, he received a second call from a neighbor reporting that they saw a naked man with an erection on the front porch.
Wait, time out. When does the pot come in?
We're getting there. Musso's
Okay,
completely
all right.
naked.
Wait, does he still have it with him, or does he pick it up later?
He's got cooking oil.
Yeah, but where does he get that stuff
I don't know.
from?
All right, he's completely naked. He's got an erection, and he was reportedly standing near a red pickup truck and holding a plastic bottle with cooking oil. Musso attempted to run around the truck to avoid the deputy, but the deputy caught up to him and removed the bottle of cooking oil from his hand.
Oh my God! Do you think if you were watching it, it would be like one of those things where he was on one side of the truck, the deputy was on the other, and they kept chasing each other around it? Because that would be amazing.
And it's also amid heavy rainfall. The deputy tried to handcuff Musso, but the man slipped away and started to run through the
That's
yard.
what he got the cooking oil for.
He continued to run down the street, even after the deputy drew his taser and commanded him to stop. Eventually, he fired his taser, forcing him to fall to the ground on his back. He was then handcuffed and put in a patrol vehicle. Musso told deputies he received sexual gratification by being naked in public. He said he was carrying cooking oil because he liked to rub it on his legs.
I mean, who doesn't like to rub their legs with cooking oil? I like to lather up every now and
He
again.
doesn't like to lather up in cooking oil every once in a while.
Yeah, that's how I get into jeans. I lather up in cooking oil and slide those babies right up.
He's booked into the Santa Rosa jail, and he's been released.
Do we have a photo of this man? Now, this is a photo I want to see.
Yes, we do. And
Of course we do.
he looks like he was rejected from being a hobbit in Lord of the Rings. And
What? Whoa. He's a hobbit? Oh, my God.
I said,
This
not a
is
hobbit.
not how
He's
I
a
thought this guy
rejected
would look
hobbit.
like at all.
Like he tried
This
to
guy-
audition back like 20 years ago for Lord of the Rings, but he didn't get it. Never since then. He's been on a downward spiral.
Wait, what is this guy's name?
Joseph John Musso.
Joseph John Musso looks like a guy who runs a deli in Queens.
He does. He does look like
He
a guy.
looks like the craziest. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is the fact that he has hair. If he had no hair, I'd think he was like
Yeah.
a businessman. But the fact that he has long, crazy hair makes it even
I
better.
think I would get
Everything
Danny
about this guy
DeVito to
is-
play him in a movie.
Yes. Oh my God, it's basically Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito. This is an episode of Always Sunny.
It
Are we being trolled here?
I think we're being trolled.
This seems like an Always Sunny episode. Because he looks. Is he tall? I bet
don't
he's.
know.
I mean, oh my God, that's incredible. Oh,
Wowee. Well, that's
Yeah,
your
I mean,
Florida
that
man
happened.
news for the day.
yep. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening or watching or doing whatever it is you're doing right now with us. I hope that you will go and give us thumbs up and 5 stars and likes and all the different things that we require in order to be successful. And check us out on YouTube. And Crendor, hit him with the links and the
You want
promotion.
the links? I got the links. We got soundcloud.com/Cox and Crendor. We got youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. We got youtube.com/Cox and Crendor, which is the animated one. So you got your podcast, you got your animated. We got our YouTube channels that are what you normally do. You got Wow Crendor, you got Jesse Cox. You got your things we promoted today. GetPickleRick.com/CNC. Go get it there. Also, go to BlueApron.com/Cox if you want some Blue Apron stuff. Also, why not subscribe? Why not do any type of shareable media? Why not recommend some things we can do? And I think that's all I got.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Thank you so much. And as always, beep. To be continued.